بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمد ونصلي على رسول الكريم اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي زدني علما ورزقنا رحمة ربي يسر ولا تؤسر وتمم بالخير وبك نستعين يا فتاح يا فتاح يا عليم يا عليم.
عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال: أتى أعرابي النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال: دلني على عمل إذا عملته دخلت الجنة. قال: أن تعبد الله ولا تشرك به شيئا وتقيم الصلاة المكتوبة وتؤدي الزكاة المفروضة وتصوم رمضان. قال: والذي نفسي بيدي لا أزيد على هذا شيئا ولا أنقص منه. فلما ولى قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: من سره أن ينظر إلى رجل من أهل الجنة فلينظر إلى هذا. متفق عليه. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu narrates that a Bedouin came to Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and said, indicate me or point me towards an action. If I do it, then I will be entered to Jannah. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that worship Allah, do not describe anything to him, and perform the faraid salah, and give out the fard zakat, and fast in Ramadan. So he said, by the one who by my soul resting his head, that I will not increase anything to this, and I will not decrease from it. So when he turned away, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, whoever desires to see a person from the people of Jannah, then he should look at this person.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did not mention here the kalima, the testimonies, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, because everybody knows that the kalima is essential. Right? Everybody knows that the kalima is essential, so Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did not mention the kalima here. And perhaps when he came at that time, then only these three things were made fard. Only these three things were made fard. So, and then the other things were prescribed and made fard later on. And he was strong in Iman, and he was not going to waver. He was not going to go astray. So that's why Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam mentioned that if he holds fast onto these things, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam saw that he was sincere in this, so that's why Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that whoever it pleases him to see a man, a dweller of Jannah, then look at this person, because Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam knew that he was not going to, so he was going to hold fast onto these three things. So that's why Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam gave him the glad tidings of Jannah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وعن طلحة بن عبيد الله رضي الله عنه قال: جاء رجل إلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من أهل نجد ثائر الرأس نسمع دوي صوته ولا نفقه ما يقول حتى دنا من رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وعن سفيان بن عبد الله الثقفي قال: قلت يا رسول الله قل لي في الإسلام قولا لا أسأل عنه أحدا بعدك، وفي رواية غيرك قال: قل آمنت بالله ثم استقم. رواه مسلم.
Sufyan ibn Abdullah al-Thaqafi radiallahu ta'ala narrates that he requested, O Nabi Allah, teach me a word about Islam that I shall have no need to ask anyone about it after you. Teach me something that I won't have to ask anybody after you. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Amantu billah, thumma istaqim, believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then be firm with it, be steadfast. Apart from the qawli aspect to believe, the qawli aspect to say La ilaha illallah, apart from that, there is the practical demonstration, meaning your amal. So you have to also do the action. You don't have to only do lip service. They say actions speak louder than words. So you have to also do the action, and the two of them will go together, and then it will show, it will beautify your deen.
وعن طلحة بن عبيد الله رضي الله عنه قال جاء رجل صلى الله عليه وسلم أهل نجد من أهل نجد سائر الرأس نسمع دوي صوته ولا نفقه لا يقول حتى دنا من رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فإذا هو يسأل عن الإسلام فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم خمس صلوات في اليوم وليلة فقال هل علي غيرهن فقال لا إلا أن تطوع قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وصيام شهر رمضان قال هل علي غيره قال لا إلا أن تطوع قال وذكر له رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الزكاة فقال هل علي غيره وقال لا إلا أن تطوع قال فأنزل الرجل وهو يقول والله لا أزيد على هذا ولا أنت قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أفلح الرجل إن الصدقة متفق عليه وطلحة بن عبيد الله رضي الله عنه says the man who was came to Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم we heard the sound of his voice and could not understand what he was saying until we came close to Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم and then he was asking about Islam. So Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم said the 5 prayers in the day and night. Then he said, is there anything besides that the faith? Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم said, no, except that we should obey. So, anything extra like nothing. Then we extra. Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم said, passing the month of Ramadan. So he said, is there anything besides that we under the week? Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم said, no, except that it is voluntary. قال وذكره رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم so Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم الزكاة. So he said, is there anything besides that? Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم said, no, except if you do it voluntarily. So he said, so the man turned away one side that Wallahi I will not be pleased on this, I will be pleased on it. So Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم said, the man will be successful if he is truthful.
So again, either only these things were prescribed at that time when he came to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this guy was a leader of a tribe. He was a leader of a tribe, and this is why he asserted that he would neither add nor deduct from this, because he was a leader and he had to go back and convey to the tribe, to the people back there. So that's why he said that he would not add nor would he subtract from there. He would just practice upon that. And that's why Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that if he is truthful in this year, he will be successful.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وعن ابن عباس رضي الله عنه قال إن وفد عبد القيس لما أتوا النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من القوم أو من الوفد قالوا ربيعة قال مرحبا بالقوم أو بالوفد خير فزايا ولا ندامة قالوا يا رسول الله إن لا نستطيع أن نعطيك إلا في الشهر الحرام وبيننا وبينك هذا الحي من كفار ومضر فمرنا بأمر فضل بخبر به من وراءنا وندخل به الجنة وسألوه عن العشر فأمرهم بأربع ونهاهم عن أربع أمرهم بالإيمان بالله وحده قال أتدرون ما الإيمان بالله وحده قالوا الله ورسوله أعلم قال شهادة أن لا إله إلا الله وأن محمد رسول الله وإقام الصلاة وإيتاء الزكاة وصيام رمضان وأن تعطوا وأن تعطوا من المغنم الخمس ونهاهم عن أربع عن الحنتم والدباء والنقير والمزفة وقال احفظوهن وأخبروا بهن من وراءكم متفق عليه ولفظه للبخاري.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala narrate that when the delegation of Abdul Qais came to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, then Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam asked, what delegation is this? So the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala says, Rabia, he said, welcome to the people or to the delegation. Neither shall you be disgraced, nor shall you regret it. They submitted, O Nabi of Allah, we are unable to come to you except in these sacred months when fighting is not allowed. Because between us and you lies the tribe of Mudar. That does believe in tribe of Mudar. Right? So teach us the commands that differentiate between truth and falsehood, that we might inform those whom we have left behind, and that we might enter paradise with. And they asked about the utensils that they drink from, that they could use. So Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam commanded them to what 4 things, to observe 4 things, and he forbade them from 4 things. He instructed them to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, asking them, do you know what believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala implies? They said, Allah and His Messenger knows best. So he said that the kalima la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, and then to observe the salah, to make your salah, to pay the zakat and fasting in Ramadan, and then to pay the 1/5 khumus of the ghanam, 1/5 of the booty, that when you fight, that 1/5 to pay that 1/5. And then he forbade them from 4 things. What are the 4 things? Hantam, Dubba, Naqir, and Muzaffat. Hantam, it's it's a utensil. It's green in color. It was like a wooden utensil, right? Dubba is a dodi, calabash. They used to carve it out and they used to drink from that. Nakir, it was also a hollow wooden utensil. And Muzaffati, it was a tad, yes, a tad utensil. So he forbade him from drinking from that. So we'll get to that. So these delegations came to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They came to Medina from distant lands. As the message of Islam spread, they learned from Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then they returned to their tribes with the message. The delegation of Abdul Qais was one such, and it was named after the chief. His name was Abdul Qais. They were residents of Bahrain, and they had met Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam first before the conquest of Makkah in the year 5 AH, the 5th year after Hijrah, when they were just 13 or 14 of them. The second time they came was in 8 AH, 8th year after Hijrah, or the 9th year after Hijrah, and that time there were 40 of them. And the mosque had a distinction of being the first after Masjid al-Nabawi to perform the Jummah Salah. Right? أول جمعة جماعة بعد جمعة في مسجد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. The first masjid to perform Jummah Salah after the masjid of Masjid al-Nabawi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam had informed the Sahaba Ikram beforehand that the delegation was about to come to them, and that this was the best of all people of the East. Umar radiallahu ta'ala stood up to see them and saw 13 men coming towards them. He conveyed to them the Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam's glad tidings about them, and then they rushed towards Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam and kissed his hands. They had all left the animals and luggage in a haphazard manner. They just left everything and they came running to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. However, the Amir Abdul Qais, he was calm. He stayed behind. He tied all the animals up he organized the luggage, he packed it in a nice manner, and then he changed his clothes before coming to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And then he came to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam and kissed his hands. He wasn't a person of, what you say, his looks wasn't very good. His looks wasn't very good. And then he said, O Nabi of Allah, a man's dignity lies in two things, in two organs, his tongue and his heart, not his outward appearance, right? His tongue and his heart. So Nabi Kareem sallallahu, and then he said, you have two characteristics. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam told him that you have the two characteristics that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his messenger likes. That is the two things. He said that the man's dignity is in his tongue and his heart. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam told him that you have the two characteristics that Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam and Allah likes. So then he asked, O Nabi of Allah, do I possess these qualities by birth or have I acquired them? So Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, no, they were born in you. From birth you had them, they were inherent in you. So they had to pass Mudar to come to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And Mudar was a very aggressive nation. They were always fighting. They wouldn't let anybody go past them without troubling them. So they couldn't come easily to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and they could only come in the sacred months. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam taught them the four things: to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his messenger, to fast, to make the salah, and to give zakah. Some muhaddithin has mentioned that Hajj was also mentioned there, but Hafiz ibn Hajar Asqalani rahimahullah has called that narration to be a shad narration. Then later on, they were asked to pay the 1/4 of the humus. Why? Because Mudar was such a tribe that was always fighting, so they were always fighting with Mudar, and many times they would win the battle. So there was always mali ghanimat. So that's why Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam told him that they must give the 1/4 of the humus. Then they were forbidden from these four utensils that they drink from, because these were used to drink wine in. These were used to drink wine. They used to prepare the wine in there. They used to store the wine, and they used to pack it in the cellar to ferment and to get old, so it can taste better. So that's why Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam stopped them from drinking. Why? Because sometimes, when you use a utensil, it seeps in on the utensil, especially these things where it's wooden, where it's calabash. Calabash is like, what's a calabash? A dodi vegetable, big one. Yeah. So one is made of tar. One is made of tar also. So it will also seep. Yes. So it will also seep into that. So that's why Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told him to forbid them from using this here. Then later on, when alcohol was made haram and the love for alcohol was out, and everything, then Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, now you can start using it again. Because maybe while they were drinking from that utensil, they would maybe think about drinking alcohol also. That's why they say we mustn't drink from those glasses that they use. Oh, the alcohol. Yeah. When names on the cup, okay. And like, question, when he was blood, don't glasses. Then we just drink like it's pouring, bro. But maybe sometimes you think, yeah, hey.
عن عبادة بن صامت قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وحوله عصابة من أصحابه بايعوني على ألا تشركوا بالله شيئا ولا تسرقوا ولا تزنوا ولا تقتلوا أولادكم ولا تأتوا ببهتان تفترونه بين أيديكم وأرجلكم ولا تعسوا في معروف فمن وفى منكم فأجره على الله أصاب من ذلك شيئا فعوقب به في الدنيا فهو كفارة له ومن أصاب من ذلك شيئا ثم ستره الله عليه في الدنيا فهو إلى الله إن شاء عفا عنه وإن شاء عاقبه فبايعناه على ذلك متفق عليه. وبعد ابن سامد رضي الله عنه that Rasulullah said while a group of his companions, while he was surrounded by a group of his companions, that make a pledge with me that you will not establish partners with Allah, you will not steal, and you will not commit zina, and you will not kill your children, and you will not slander a woman which you fabricated in front of you or beneath you, and do not disobey in good. So whoever from among you does so and he passes away, then his reward will be by Allah. And whoever strays from that anything and is punished for it in the dunya, then that is the kafara, that is the recompense for him. And whoever deviates from that, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala conceals the dunya, then then it's up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if he wills, he may forgive him, or if he wills, he may punish him. We do that pledge, so we pledge on that.
So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he may or he may not punish a sinner. He may or he may not punish a sinner. If he forgives a sinner, then it's out of a favor. It's out of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's ihsan that he forgave you. And if he punish you, it's because of his just. That is because you done the sin, so he forgives you, he punishes you. However, the Mu'tazila was a group, they said that when you do a sinner, then you will definitely get punished. There's no such thing as forgiveness. Allah Ta'ala can't forgive you, will not forgive you for a sin. So that is not the belief of the Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. The Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah believes that if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to forgive you, he can forgive you. If he wants to punish you, he can punish you. Doesn't mean that you made a sin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has to punish you. Allah Ta'ala is Ghafoor Rahim. If he wants to forgive you, he can forgive you. Inshallah. We'll continue from there, inshallah.